Hey, welcome to A Mindful Life. This is the music side of A Mindful Life. We're talking about keyboard, piano. Today we're going to pick up where we left off with chord construction. All right, chord construction is one of those things that's foundational to playing piano keyboard. And today we're going to go over the 4 types of triads: major, minor, augmented, and diminished. Okay, major, minor, augmented, and diminished. Now, we're going to play off of what we've done before. So you may need to go back and review some of those other videos or some of your notes or what have you to make sure that you're really on point for this particular lesson. We're going to be using the major scale formula: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And remember, like I said before, you should know it like that. You should know it like your phone number: whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. All right, so let's just dive right in. Remember, a triad is a chord. A chord is two or more notes played at the same time. A triad is a chord of 3 notes. Remember the prefix tri. All right, so we left off. Excuse me. We left off with this right here, which was the major triad. Okay, and we said that it was composed of the 1, 3, and the 5 notes of the major scale, all right, in the key of C. So that's your key of C. And we said we wanted to 1, 3, and the 5 notes. So here's 1, here's 3, here's 5, all right? So that's the 1, the 3, and the 5. And that's just review. Okay, we went through this before. I still have a little bit of a congestion, guys. We're going to keep working through that. This is a review, okay? So now let's break off a little bit and let's apply this. Let's get some major chords in some different keys. All right, so let's pick the key of E flat. You remember that, right? Whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. So play your E flat major scale on your keyboard using the formula whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. And you are starting the key of E flat. Fingerings, as I said before, at this point, do what's comfortable for you. I find in this particular key, E flat, it seems like for me, I start with finger number 1, excuse me, finger number 2. This is finger number 2. And I do finger number 1 on the F. And see, as I go up, I cross under again to get C. Then I'm on the E flat. And then I come, I come back pretty much the same way I went. You can stop the video, rewind it, check out the fingerings. But so let's get this E flat major chord. So what do you think it is? I'm already playing it. All right, so check it out. So anyway, we got, that's 5, 1, 3, 5. We want the 1, the 3, and the 5, and we're playing with fingers 1, fingers 3, and fingers 5. All right, that's a review also. There you go, E flat, G, and B flat. That's your E flat major chord. So basically what we're seeing is we're taking the 1, the 3, and the 5 from the major scale, and we're doing that we're taking those notes to create a major triad. Let's do another one. We like A flat, right? All right, so there you go. I tend to like to start with finger number 2. And come back to finger number 2. So we want the 1, the 3, and the 5. So let's do our scale. Let's just count all the way through the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's 1, that's the first one. 2, here's 3, 4, 5. So there we got it, 1, 3, 5. So we're playing the same thing with our 1, our 3rd finger, and our 5th finger. Okay? So that we can do that all day long. You should be at a point now where you can do that all day long, with the keyboard, taking the major scale formula, taking your knowledge of what a half and a whole step is, and taking your knowledge, of course, of what the notes are on the keyboard, and create a major chord off of any particular note. All right, I'm going to give you a quiz. Give me the B flat major chord. Give me B flat major. All right, I'm going to wait. So just use what we did. Use your whole half step formula, your knowledge of half and whole steps, your knowledge of the keys and what the key names are, and give me that B flat major chord. So what is it? All right, check it out. So here we are, B flat, and we're going to go and play through our B flat major scale. So here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So here's 1, here's 3, here's 5, and we play it with the 1, the 3, and the 5 fingers. There you go. B flat major is B flat, D, and F. Now we're good. That is how to construct the major triad. Now let's go to the minor triad. How do we construct the minor triad? Well, minor triad is exactly the same as a major triad, except that third note of the scale is flattened or lowered by a half step. So flattened means we take the note and we make it lower. So if I were just say on this note and I flat this note, it would go to here. Now sometimes flat can be used to mean more than a half step. But generally speaking, when you hear this concept of flat the third, or flat the fifth, or flat the seventh, that just means you're going to go a half step lower. Okay, let's just have that as the general rule for now. And that is a general rule. From experience, I can tell you if it's a flat seventh, that means you're going to take the seventh note. Let's just go back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and you're going to flat the seventh, right? Now, if we were to double flat the seventh, we would not only go here, but we would go here. But usually when you say flat the note, it means to go a half step lower. Raise the note, sharp it, make it sharp, means to go a half step higher. So if we go back to C and just say we'll take G, that's the fifth note. If we say sharp 5, sharp means to go higher, that's higher, by a half step. Let's just say that's the rule right now, okay? And that is a rule. So half step higher means we're going to go to the very next note to the right, which means this note, G sharp, okay? All right, so let's go to C, and let's talk about C minor, a C minor triad. It's still 3 notes, but it's minor. What does that mean? Well, we know that we had the 1, the 3, and the 5. For a minor chord, we play exactly the same notes. All we do is take that third note of the scale and lower it by a half step, or we flat the third. Flat the third. It's not very tricky or anything. We just flat the third. So remember, this is the third. 1, 2, 3. Now remember, to make flat means to go to the left by a half step. So that's here. And remember, a half step is from key to key with no key in between. It doesn't matter if the key is a black or a white key. It doesn't matter. It just means to go down by 1 key. So that means 1, 2, 3. We flat the third. Boom. That's the flat third. And now we play everything else the same. That's C minor right there. That's C minor chord. All right. Let's take another one. Let's go back to our friend A flat. And remember the A flat major chord, right? All we're going to do is flat the third. So all we do is this. That's flat the third. It's a good example because remember, to flat it means to go one note or a half step lower or to the left. It doesn't matter if the key is black or white. So in this case, we are on C as the regular third or the major third, and now we just flat it and we make it a minor third. Now, when I say major minor third, don't trip out because I'm just parlaying a little bit of a lingo in there about intervals. You know, because we did talk about intervals in terms of half and whole steps, and that is a way to describe intervals. Intervals can also be described more precisely and more, it can be more designated. So in this case, that's the third from the scale, remember? 1, 2, 3, that's a major third. But when we flat it, it becomes a minor third. All right? Now, if that is kind of like getting over your head a little bit, like it's like you don't have to know that to play the minor chord. You don't have to know that to play the minor chord. All right. So that's no problem. We're going to get to that stuff later. So that's A flat minor. Okay, let's go to another one. Let's go to F. Now remember, F is and we want the 1, the 3, and the 5 to play F major, which is 1, here's a 3, and here's a 5. You can prove that by counting up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Now to make that F minor, all we do is flat the third. All right. Which means we do this. Here's a third, and we just flat it. Now you play an F minor. That's how to create your minor triad right there. All right, it's just that simple. It's not deep. Let's pick another one. One of my favorite keys, a B flat. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's B flat major, B flat, D, and F. Now I want to make it B flat minor. All I do is this. All right, all I did was lower the third to here. Or I flat the third and it came, that's B flat minor. So practice that in every note, on every note of the keyboard. So you're playing every note, C minor, D flat minor, D minor, E flat minor, E minor, F minor, G flat minor, etc., etc., etc. All right, let's move on now to the next chord. We did major triad, we did minor triad. Now let's do augmented triad. Augment means to make bigger. Usually when you augment something, you make it larger. That's one of the giveaways to what this chord is all about. What you're doing is you're making the chord, you're expanding the inside of the chord. You know, you're not adding more notes. It's still only 3 notes. It's a triad. But what you're doing is within that chord, you are expanding inside of the chord. You know, think of it like that. Let's go back to C. We know C major. Now, we're going to start to make the augmented chord. We're going to start from the C major chord. So to make an augmented chord, you have your major chord, and all you do is raise the 5th. You raise the 5th, you sharp the 5. Sharp the 5. So where is the 5? Again, here it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you sharp it. Sharp means to go up a half step. Go to the right. This is higher. Higher in pitch. So all you're doing is this. That's a C augmented chord. That's C aug. A lot of times you'll see it C-A-U-G. Or sometimes you'll see it C with a plus. All right? That's C augmented. All right? Now we can do that on any note. Let's go to A flat. What's the 5th in A flat? We know this one already. It's E flat. So to have A flat augmented, we sharp the 5, which becomes this. That E now. See that? See, that's instead of A flat C E flat, it becomes A flat C E. That's A flat augmented. All right. All you're doing is sharpening the 5. The 5th note of that particular scale in that key, A flat, is E flat, and you sharp it. All right. Now let's just pick let's pick F. So F is F A C. That's your 1. That's your 3. That's your 5. Now let's make it F augmented, and here it is. Boom. F A C sharp. So you can apply that. Take your time. Go slow, and apply that to every single note on this keyboard. So for every note on the keyboard, you can create an augmented triad. All right. All right. And if you have any questions, you can always post it in the comment section, or I have tiers in which I can interact with you guys in a more one-on-one way. Okay. We did major triad, minor triad, augmented triad, and let's do diminished triad. I love diminished triad. I love it. Okay. What does diminish mean? Diminish means to make smaller. All right. When we diminish something, we make it smaller. Now, we're not taking away any notes. Again, we're operating within that chord, within that triad. That is our box that we're in. It must be a triad. So what we're doing is we're taking, let's go to C. To make a diminished chord, you lower the 3rd and you lower the 5th. To make a diminished chord, you lower the 3rd and the 5th. And remember, your major triad is composed of the 1, the 3, and the 5 notes from the major scale. So how does that look? So we flat the 3rd and we flat the 5th. That's a little bit more precise way of saying it. We flat the 3rd and we flat the 5th. So here's the 3rd, we flat that. And guess what is that? That's your minor chord. See? Now we also got to flat the 5th. Flat it means to go a half step to the left or lower. So we're here. That's C diminished. I love the sound. So it's all, if you can think of it, it's like a minor chord with a flat 5. That's another way to think of it. Right? So that is the way to make a diminished chord. Now let's do a few. So let's take A flat. We like A flat. Here's A flat major. Let's make it A flat minor. Now let's make it A flat diminished. There we go. That's that flat 5. Here's the 5, which is E flat 5. And we flat it. And we also flat the 3rd. So we have these 2 notes, and we still play A flat. That's A flat diminished. Let's go to E. Let's do something different. Here's E flat, here's E major. Now let's make it E minor. Now let's make it E diminished. Now let's just go straight to E diminished. Now the reason I say that is because some students, when they start out, they'll say, okay, I'm major, and then here's minor, and here's diminished. And that is true. But you want to be able to go straight to the chord. You don't want to have to go through a few steps to get to the chord. So if we're doing a B flat diminished chord, if we're doing B flat diminished, here's B flat major, here's B flat minor, here's B flat diminished. But we want to go straight to that. Here's B diminished chord, diminish. All right? All you're doing is taking that B, taking the 3rd, flatten that, and taking the 5th and flatten that. All right? Okay, so let's do an F diminished. How does that look? You go straight to that, like that. Right? So that's it. That's the 4 types of triads. Those will be used over and over again. As a matter of fact, we're going to build on those so it's just not. See, if you notice that chord, that is a little different, right? It's still a diminished something type of something, right? But there are more notes in it than just the 3 notes. And that's what the next video, we're going to get into an extended chords. All right. We're going to get off into extended chords with the next video. All right. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave comment section or check out the other tiers. Again, this concludes the video for the 4 types of triads: major, minor, augmented, and diminished. Mindful Life. Peace out.